one thing I read or heard in the national news is that when COVID hit in March of this year, someone from ADA or one of the dental associations had said that dentistry had already been ahead of the curve as far as making the dentist office a safe place. Dentists had been masked for years, rubber gloves, protective clothing, so part of what you guys are dealing with the COVID is what dentists have been dealing with for a long, long time. Am I right on that?
That's right. And you have to think in a dental office that you have to be prepared for infectious diseases of any kind, and all kinds. So before anyone even had heard of COVID-19, you have a lot of different things that you have to consider. I won't name them all out, but I mean, you know what they are. There are a lot of things that that you're always prepared for. So that's why our sterilization department is is unmatched, and we try to keep those things out of the patient's eye, of course, because you don't want to see that when you come to the dentist. But it's it's a large part of our building here. So we intentionally try to keep that out of our. That safety for patients and for our team is number one. So.
Right.
The new purchases that we have, like those dental vacuum systems, those are recommendations that Dr. Gravitte wanted to implement here. So far above and beyond, it far exceeds what's recommended, but it's an additional.
Don Masura throws one out there as a dental industry expands and we see more and more promotions for these miracle products. What are the biggest scams out there that you guys have found that people might be investing in on the internet or whatever? And
it's astonishing, really, but there's so much out there. If you go to Amazon right now and you type in clean my teeth or dentures. I mean, you can buy these things on Amazon, which is crazy. It shouldn't even be. It should be illegal for this to even happen, because what happens is they have decay or they have disease of some sort in their mouth, and then they put these teeth in. Really, I mean, you look at them. They look great. I mean, they don't look that bad, and that's what someone. And I had someone come to me and tell me about this. It's the person I'm thinking of, but he said, but they look really good. It's okay if I just wear them during the day. I'll take them out, whatever. But what happens is you're keeping all of that bacteria and all of that disease, close in there, and you're not addressing the issue, but two, you're making it so much worse. I mean, and that's one of the things that that I have a job here is because for so long, and it still exists, but part of the education gap between oral health in our community, because so many people they don't make that connection. They think that your mouth or your teeth, it's something completely separate, that the dentist is optional, that it's not part of your whole body. But there's so much research proving, the systemic diseases associated to oral diseases. You look at Alzheimer's, you look at Alzheimer's, and you look at heart disease, increased incidence of stroke,
right? Also
diabetes. So you look at those things, and you may think that you're perfectly healthy, but and you don't know that your body is fighting an infection because you don't hurt, because it's not hurting you right now, it's swollen. So just because it didn't hurt, the absence of pain does not equal the absence of disease. And that's something that that you always have to remember, just to get out, to go to a dentist, have your x-rays, have your cleaning, have those things done.
Right.
So yes, there's a lot of scams out there. A lot of this teeth straightening, a lot of the things where you don't even have to go to a dentist. You don't have to have any type of care. You send them off in the mail, and it's just so irresponsible for the same reason.
Joe Zalzik asked, so do you guys do root canals on oral surgery, or is there a point where you have to, contract that out to another specialist, or for the practice there for Dr. Gravitte?
Well, one of the reasons when Dr. Gravitte, when he built this practice, it was to expand services for oral surgery, for endodontics, for dental and even for pediatric dentistry in one location, because people here were having to go to Winston, Greensboro, however far, if you needed a root canal or crown and build up, you'd have to travel, take the day and do that. So we have a doctor. He's not a specialist, but he has over 25 years experience in endodontics, and he does 1 to 2 days a week, and he's incredible. We also have a doctor who his name is Dr. Patel. He's a world-renowned dental. He's also not a specialist, but he's one of the top implant doctors in the country, and he teaches all over the world for Gladwell, an implant company, but he does all of our dental implants. And then we have another doctor who does our wisdom teeth extractions. He does all of our oral surgery procedures, and he also does IV sedation, which is another component of dentistry too, nitrous and IV sedation. So we offer, and then we have 2 new associate dentists, Dr. Alexander and Dr. Rodriguez. And Dr. Alexander, she has over 20 years of experience with children. She's a general dentist, but the kids love her. She loves the kids. She has a lot of experience with children. So we really offer, everything. And I mean, there are some times that, yes, you need to see a specialist. You need this, right, really, whatever the case may be. And then our doctors, they make that call, but we certainly try to take care of all that here.
Brenda joined us from Grind Guru, and she asked a question that obviously there's organizations out there that are feeding the children and the families because the schools were closed. Mm-hmm. But has there been an effort to assist these children with their dental needs?
Yes, and we partner with the schools a lot for dental education, for daily dental hygiene kits and things like that. A lot of the state resources, like the dental buses through the Baptist Foundation, they actually go to the schools, do sealants, and they'll do things like that at one time, right, like all in one day, for example. Or they'll do a grade in one day, for example. But that's when you start looking at our community, there's such a great need for dental care, and that includes children. That includes like our emergency services. Like if you go to the emergency room, for example, and because you have a toothache, and it's over on the weekend, you're really limited as to what your options are. And I know the health department there in Dobson, they're really limited as to what they're offering too. So that's why prevention and education is so important. And we to educate the children so that they grow up healthy kids. They don't always have that guidance in the home. So we really try to give as much information. That's why also my job is to work, build relationships with the schools and work with the schools and get these things in home to the kids. If it's something something that they can help teach their older brother or their younger brother or sibling, how to why it matters or how to make it fun or whatever. That's where I really, I work with our dental team and our dental assistants a lot, because that's where they're really talented in that hands-on demonstration, right, and fun for the kids, for families too. Not as is because we don't want it to be an intimidating experience. We want it to be something that's very approachable and something that they're not scared of, because the dentist doesn't always have the most positive reputation when you see them in the movies, whatever, so kids see that and they really can be afraid. Or if they hear their parents talking about it, they can develop a fear. And then as an adult, they avoid dental care. So that's what we're trying to target that specifically, actively all the time.